Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Yearbook News. I'm here with my co-host, Sarah.
Hello, everyone. We're super excited. We're all back to school. Yay!
Yes, I know. Back to the thick of things. I know we just finished off our podcast series on our instructional guides, so we're taking a break from our next series, but we wanted to kind of go into problem solving and the importance of problem solving for yearbook advisors. We recently started an initiative called Yearbook One-on-One. We're both very excited about this. And basically, I can go into it a little bit, and Sarah, you can fill in any gaps that I have, but Yearbook One-on-One is really made for us to connect with yearbook advisors and kind of hear their personal needs. And so, yearbook advisors, your situations are so unique. And, recently Sarah and I have been meeting with a few yearbook advisors who have told us their stories and kind of what they're facing right now at this point in the year. And just being able to have like that one-on-one time to kind of really learn about their unique situation and really hear their heart for yearbook advising and try to kind of give them some solutions was really wonderful. So yeah, we have Yearbook One-on-One sessions. You can meet with us personally through obviously virtual meetings is a wonderful platform, and we can just really help fill in those gaps and help understand what your needs are and help, offer tailored solutions.
Exactly. Yeah. By the way, we are going to trademark Yearbook One-on-One, right? So make sure if you hear another Yearbook One-on-One, beside United Yearbook, that means, somebody else is copying our idea. So we have this initiative for many years, since 2008 when we first started. Our mission has always wanted to provide tailor-made, custom-made service to yearbook advisor, because the need of every single school is different. We don't want to throw a price and offer tons of services and upsell other products that the school does not need. So that's why, we have always been very big on just, sitting down with the advisor through our on-campus meeting or virtual meeting now, which is getting very popular, to really listen to what the school need, what the administration is looking for, and what the advisors is struggling. So usually from one meeting, we'll be able to, mainly data collection, to be able to customize a plan, a game plan, for the advisor to see what United Yearbook can provide to them and support them alongside throughout the school year. Yeah, as you said, we started getting quite a few advisors wanting to meet. There's some advisor, this is their first year and they're just really struggling, where to start, Then we arrange this Yearbook one-on-one meeting so that we can listen to them and help them to problem solve, their need, and also provide a game plan, for the entire school year.
Yeah, exactly. And as always, I'll leave a link down below so that whoever wants to schedule a Yearbook One-on-One meeting with us is able to do that. But yeah, it really is part of just like our mission and our heart for the company to be able to really walk alongside, yearbook advisors and hear what your needs are. So if you're feeling a little overwhelmed right now, or you feel like some things need to be problem solved, go ahead and reach out to us. We're happy to kind of, work through solutions with you and figure out, a better route for you to take than the one you might be on right now. Yeah, so that kind of leads me perfectly into the overall subject of this podcast, which is problem solving. Sarah, you've dealt with a lot of advisors throughout the year who have had different huge just things that they're facing, throughout the year. And why would you say like problem solving is so important for a yearbook advisor?
Yeah, because they are the one who is on the front end dealing with the yearbook publisher, right? Sometimes they have a say of which publisher to use. Sometimes the school principal make the decision for them. So oftentimes they're all by themselves, right? Unless the administration really step up to be involved and assisting them. So pretty much they are giving a small budget in oftentimes the budget is really based on how many yearbooks they are able to sell, and also whether it is part of the tuition. I would say for most school that we have dealt with, and also we have contacted, from other school, they don't really have the yearbook budget as part of the registration or in the enrollment fee. The parents, the student have to pay for it. So when that is the case, yearbook sales is very important, because if the yearbooks do not sell and they end up having a lot of inventory, that means the school yearbook account is going to have the debt. So, and therefore the advisor, not the school administration, they're the one, they have to find a way to be able to save money so that they can make the yearbook affordable and also at least make some profit. If the school, I talked to, an advisor last week, they said, if they're only making, $1 a profit, that is really a big problem. Or if they end up having $8,000 in debt, that is a very serious problem, because how many years, they're going to able to make enough uh, profit, in order to pay off that debt, right? So I've seen that accumulated debt, and also, having extra inventory or yearbook that do not sell, has been a big problem. And that's why when advisor come to us for one meeting, in often talk, we talk about the pricing and how United Yearbook can offer different solution and option for them, so that they can not only stay within the budget, but be able to make some profit.
Yeah, it is very important. And I think it also goes hand in hand with, we've already talked about unique situations. And so if something comes up while throughout the year, something very unique that's very, this feels like it's only my school type of thing, right? Whether it be something that's based on like geographic location, maybe I live in more of a rural area and we face these kinds of challenges, or maybe something else that causes different issues and things like that. It's very important to kind of be able to understand that each school has those very unique situations and unique needs, and kind of figuring out how to kind of go around and problem solve those situations. And we can get into some examples of how, we've been able to talk with advisors and give them some like unique solutions to their issues. But I think also it's important for an advisor to be able to be in partnership with their publisher, and also to be able to come to their publisher and say, I'm facing this issue, can you help me problem solve it? Or maybe without them even asking, the publisher is able to just kind of offer some solutions to it. And I would say, how do you think that as a publisher, we can best be that problem solver and be that kind of like cushion for them to fall on when they're facing these issues throughout the year?
Oh yeah, I think communication plays a huge part. As I said earlier, every advisors, the need is different. We have advisor, they're new and they are desperately needing curriculum. Our curriculum, especially on orientation, our lesson plan, our activities guide. We have advisors that they need a solution for the online software, and but at the same time they want to have the flexibility to use the Adobe product like Adobe Photoshop, InDesign, and we can provide them solutions. Not to be so restricted that we try to restrict them on using just one platform, but how we can be flexible. At the end of the day, we want to be able to customize our proposal, our workflow that tailor to the specific need of the advisors. So although we have the online design software available, but we also are able to have our online design software work with the Adobe products, so that the advisor can still utilize the yearbook class to teach InDesign, Photoshop, when using at the same time using our online program for project management. Because our program come with the letter, they can actually move page around at the end of the before the book submission, so the advisor can see whether the book is being placed on the correct side, left or right. The cross, for example, crossover page web situation that they student mistakenly put the left side of a crossover page to the right side, and we're able to catch that during the pagination process. So I think because with so many years of experience in the print industry, we're able to provide pretty much a solution um, that every advisors come to us for help. So I think the key is communication, being able to be a good listener, instead of trying to push or upsell, the service. So I think we want to be able to provide a very customized, innovative yearbook at a decent price that every parents and every student across the country, can afford. So so I think just keeping that channel and the advisor able to come to us. We have new advisor that we never met before in one single email. They already lay out a list of problem that they have with their former yearbook publisher, and then we take it from there and help them to come up with a game plan, that fit your need. They can use our suggestion to go back to the yearbook publisher to make some changes, or we get some changes, or if they decide to move forward with United Yearbook, we want to make sure they get what they need. So again, communication plays a huge part, and for United Yearbook, our job is to listen and find out what they're struggling with, what kind of problem that they have, so that we can match with the solutions.
Yeah, I really like that first point that's really over encompassing about communication, because I think that it's really vital for advisors to feel like they're listened to, as you were saying. And also, for any advisors, in your communication process, if you feel like you really aren't being listened to, or, seek out, those that will listen, because it is important. It is important to have your needs listened to have a partner. I see it as like a partnership, and being able to problem solve and tailor those solutions to what you need as an advisor. So yeah, I think that's a very good point, Sarah. And I think that's like one of just a very key thing that advisors need to keep in mind. Communication is key in so many ways. And so this is definitely one of those ways that communication is key. And I want to kind of go over a few kind of examples of how United Yearbook has been able to help problem solve with our advisors. And so recently we met with a few different advisors, as I mentioned at the beginning. And so one of the things that stood out to me was one of the advisors we met with. He has the final deadline, and he was kind of worried just because there's a few sporting events at the end of the year that he really wanted to have, in the yearbook. And so, United Yearbook, we met with him and we're talking to him and just kind of really hearing that thought process. And we're like, we kind of came up with a solution for him. And, we were like, supplement pages. And so, he was kind of like, oh, like, pretty interested in that. But then there was that idea like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that just because of the cost and everything. And then we were able to kind of talk to him and be like, if you take out, let's say 8 pages from, the regular yearbook, then there's no extra cost to do the supplement pages. And you get to include those events that you really want to include and receive it at the same time as the final yearbook. And so he was, he really liked that. And obviously he's going to communicate with his students and see what their vote is on that. But it's just one of those cases where, for some people, they get all their events covered and they're good to go. But then there's some people that they're dealing with, maybe they have a very important play at the end of the year, or they have a few sporting events like he was having, or, whatever it may be, that they kind of want to add. And so we're able to kind of work around that and kind of understand what his need was, and kind of offer that solution that he hadn't heard before. And he was grateful for us to offer that solution. But that's just like one thing that recently happened that stood out to me. I'm not sure. I'm sure you have so many throughout the year, Sarah.
Yeah, I was like just really surprised that no other publisher ever brought that up to him. I think because United Yearbook, we're also a book manufacturer, with decades of book printing experience. We just have so many options and expertise and experience in being able to provide a solution to the advisors. I think in that particular situation, when we spoke to the advisor who would like to cover the key sport event for that school, and still make it to the yearbook, submission deadline. When we provided the solution, if you remember, we told them, not only we give them the recommendation and supplement pages, but we also provide solution, not increasing the cost. I think that's a huge concern to a little bit advisors. I have talked to many advisors. The yearbook staff want to add this upgrade, that upgrade, a gatefold, embossing, sleeve, different customization, or even a pop-up, but they cannot afford because their yearbook publisher charged them. One time I heard that a school have to pay $3,000 just for a gatefold, extra $10 per book for a gatefold, and for us it's free. And it was a dream for the school to be able to have a gatefold incorporate into the yearbook. I think it's just one of the example from last week, and also the gatefold solution is we're able to provide solution, whether it is a very customized upgrade or the ability for the school to cover sport event that happen later of the school year that may have already passed their initial yearbook submission deadline. How we can make it happen for them while not increasing the cost of the yearbook. So I think that is our mission and vision, wanting to be able to work alongside with our advisor while providing the solution. It could be a later delivery deadline, or it could be a customization that they can afford, or ability to cover a major school event. Because, if, at the end of the day, the students who purchase the yearbook, they want to see more event that happen during the school year to be in the yearbook that they bought for, right?
Yeah, it's such a good point. And so being able to, because it is a student publication, being able to kind of give them that dream yearbook, be able to really help represent the school year and kind of pass on that legacy is our hope. And so it's really hard to do when there's different limitations, whether it be with the pricing or whatever it may be. And so being able to kind of work around and just being able to discuss and see how we can do this, what we can do, and offer solutions. And I think it's really helpful. And I think advisors appreciate it, not only for themselves, obviously, but also because ultimately it is for the students, it's for the student body, and it's for them to be represented and to be able to take their yearbook home and just have that for years and years and years to come. So I think that's, a really good point. And I think also sometimes solutions isn't even just with the yearbook itself. Sometimes it's with things with like the yearbook class. For example, we also met with an advisor who was, having a hard time. It was his first year. It's his first year right now entering to become an advisor. And so he was, having a hard time because he's not sure what it's going to look like and just the amount of students that he's going to get. And, right off the bat, we're providing him with solutions of how he can get students in the door. He could do varsity lettering for yearbook students, or give them opportunities to get awards, and so I think this just goes hand in hand with everything we've already been saying, but there really is just such a unique experience when it comes to yearbooking. And so yes, there is a community out there, and there's a community of people, and it's wonderful to be able to hear from different voices. And then it's also so interesting to see that at the same time there is such a distinction between every single yearbook and every single yearbook class and advisor, and kind of how they run their class and how, what they need from us. And so I think that's been something that has been interesting to see, and also just be there for those advisors, especially, this advisor we recently met with, he was struggling, he was having a hard time. And so being able to kind of brighten his day to give him some solutions and kind of walk alongside him, I think was really nice.
Yeah, I think there are some new advisors when they were offered this opportunity to be a book advisor. It could be flattering, but at the same time, it could be very terrifying because they just don't know where to start, right? And I think it was just very encouraging, for us, when we see the face just, glow, and they just the big smile on the face, by the end we finish our yearbook one-on-one meeting with them. They're able to see, yeah, it can be done, even though they never did it before, but it's not as hard. So I really encourage other advisors, especially the new one, or school administration, you're just listening to this podcast, schedule a yearbook one-on-one meeting with us, and just let us walk you and your advisor through the process of yearbook advising and how it works. It's not as scary, especially we have this amazing comprehensive curriculum material that we have developed, for the past few years. And now, officially we have make it available to our yearbook community around the world. And because it is available, to be downloaded, in our resource platform. So I think yearbook advisor is fun. The reason that new advisor are scared, they're intimidated or terrified because of the uncertainty, right? And there's a saying that knowledge is powerful. When they're given this knowledge, especially we have this instructional guide and presentations, that's knowledge for them, And after meeting with us, that is double knowledge, because now they know that there are a company like us that can provide them the resource that they need. Whether they will end up using us for printing or publishing or not, our curriculum is still available for any advisors who are looking, to get ideas and resource, or to want to get the yearbook advising career, started. So it's not as terrifying, just contact us and we can, provide you point you to the right resource that you're looking for. Because as I said earlier, every advisor, they may have a background in journalism, they may be have a background in graphic design, but they don't have background in journalism. Then we can point them to the instructional guide that offer tons of material that they can use, to teach and educate their yearbook staff.
Yeah, you went exactly into what I wanted to talk about for our final point was, what advice would you give to those new advisors? And I think you covered it really well. I think for me also, I would just advise us to really get them, for advisors to really get plugged in. And so you mentioned, getting plugged in here at United Yearbook, and I think that's very important. I also think it's just so important because there is a community out there of people. And so, join Facebook groups as a new advisor, reach out to veteran advisors. If you have the chance to speak with the advisor who was in your position before, talk to them, hear, what their thoughts are and how they were able to run the class and what they would suggest. And I think that really getting plugged in is so important, because you were saying, Sarah, that there's that uncertainty, and that is a huge thing, especially because the yearbook is such a big and important part of the school. So I think that kind of tackling that uncertainty and tackling such an important publication can be scary, but realizing that there is a community of people and you're not alone in this community. There are so many people that have walked the same footsteps or are currently walking them. I think that's very important. But yeah, I'm not sure if you had any other piece of advice. If there was an advisor who was struggling with something that is very unique, like a unique challenge, what would you say to them?
Contact us, because each challenge is different, right? The advisor can email us or send us a DM through Instagram or TikTok, or schedule yearbook one-on-one meeting. But before we close, I also want to mention a very interesting scenario that one advisor shared with us last week. They were surprised with a bigger bill on an upgrade that they thought it was free, right? And that upgrade was recommended by the yearbook rep. They have no idea it actually cost them that much. They ended up having like 8,000, in yearbook debt. So I think one of my advice, for any advisor out there who are listening to this podcast, make sure you have everything in writing, as far as like the cost for every extra upgrade or service that has been recommended by the yearbook rep or by your school. Make sure you have a written correspondence in everything. So by the end of the school year, you will not be surprised with a bill. We have heard situation that the advisor is surprised with the extra charges, but in order to have the extra charges waived um, by the yearbook publisher, they will have to renew for another year contract. So I think this is not the way that we want to see happening, because in some way it's unethical. First of all, the yearbook advisor didn't know there will be substantial extra cost for a certain upgrade, using that as a bargaining power for the school to renew another contract. For me, it is not ethical. So for us, when we suggest a certain upgrade, we want to make sure that in the email there's a written disclaimer. This is a free upgrade. If they want something more premium, which is a pay upgrade, the school can always swap. I think our goal is to make yearbook innovative, very customized, while making it affordable, so that by the end of the school year, the school will not be surprised, by a bill, more yearbook costs or charges that was not anticipated within the yearbook budget. So that's something that kind of like surprised me, when I heard from that yearbook advisor experience, when we met them. But I think yeah, we're getting more yearbook advisor come to us, requesting for meeting. But we have a lot of rooms, and we'd like to hear your story. We'd like to provide you that one-on-one consultation and problems, help you problem solve your and give you solution, to your unique situations.
Yeah, thank you for bringing up that topic. It is really important for advisors to hear and to so that they don't feel stuck, and that they realize that there have been other people as well that have had maybe a similar situation or have been hurt in that way. And so yeah, feel free. I'll go ahead and leave any of the links that we talked about down below. I'll leave information of how you can connect with us. And if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment bar down below. We can try to get to them and kind of even try to help figure something out right there and then. But yeah, reach out to us. We are happy to help and be there for you throughout the year. Right now is the beginning of the school year season, so we know that comes with different, maybe a very hectic schedule right now, but feel free to reach out. We're happy to listen to your needs and to really listen to what you have for this year. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. Like and subscribe, and if there's anything else that we can do for you, just let us know. Have a good rest of your day.
Bye.